Hey guys, good to see you. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to up the alpha. That is, I got 5 things you can do right now in order to increase your self-confidence and to create a positive impression on other people. Let's jump right in. Number 1 has to do with posture. I want you to put your shoulder blades in your back pockets. Like that. It doesn't matter if you're standing or if you're sitting. This is a simple thing to do, and it's easy to remember. Put your shoulder blades in your back pockets. Because very often when we talk about posture, we think about, keeping our chest up and all. But very often guys will want to scrunch up their shoulders like this or something. You want to keep your chest up, but also your shoulders down and relaxed and back. And if you think shoulder blades in back pockets, that very, very naturally takes care of it. And this is how I want you to stand. It will lift the chest naturally. It will help to open up the chest. You'll take up more space. And also, it will also help to keep us from looking down at the ground all the time, especially if you're walking. So maintain the good posture, helps keep the eyes facing forward. You'll feel better also because posture affects our mood and our emotions as well. So if we stand better, we'll feel better, we'll act more confidently as well. So that's point number 1, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Second, when you need to walk, walk with purpose. Now, what does that look like? Okay, there are some different takes on this, different schools of thought, and I don't care which one you care to follow. Personally, I tend to walk too fast. So for me, it's always a matter of consciously having to slow down my walk. Again, if I keep good posture and keep my shoulder blades in my back pockets, that helps to regulate my speed a little bit. You don't want to walk too fast because you look nervous and that you're late and that you're flustered. And that's not the impression that we want to give. Sometimes guys walk too slowly. Again, it looks, like there's no purpose and you're just sort of hanging around. Southern guys, you can mosey if you want to, but unless you're a Southern boy, try to find a purposeful pace at which you walk, okay? And here on this, there are a lot of really good videos on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look Alpha Male Walk, you'll find a lot of good videos on good ways of how easily to move. That looks very good in a very confident way of walking. And most all of them are going to include Daniel Craig playing James Bond, because that guy's got it down absolutely perfect. So watch the way that he walks in his movies and try to do the same thing. Number 3, good hygiene and fashion. Granted, guys, this is low-hanging fruit. I get it. But don't forget to wash the low-hanging fruit as well, okay? Bathe more than once a day if you need to. If you're seeing people late in the afternoon or in the evening, you've been working all day, you've been to the gym, a quick shower will help take care of any body odor that you have. Get your hair styled well, something that complements your face. Teeth, if you got them, brush them. Pro tip, if you don't know what this is a tongue scraper, and it really helps with bad breath, if you have that kind of problem. So invest in a little tongue scraper there. That's probably something you didn't expect to hear about here. If you do have issues with breath, check it regularly. Have breath strips or Tic Tacs or something as part of your everyday carry. Keep mints in the console of your car so that before you get out to see somebody, you can grab a mint, grab a couple of Tic Tacs. Works very well. Okay, there are a lot of good resources out there on good hygiene and particularly on fashion. Alpha M is a great one on YouTube. I'd also like to recommend Tanner Guzzi and his YouTube channel, Masculine Style, is a very good one for some great information. And if you don't know his book, The Appearance of Power, also subtitled How Masculinity is Expressed Through Aesthetics, why it is important that men pay attention to their appearance. It can radically change the way other people regard you, treat you, and pay attention to you. So it's not a casual thing here, guys. All right, we need to pay some attention to that. Also, number 4, slow down your speech and drop your voice. Very often when we get nervous or we get flustered, we then talk really fast, and we get faster and faster, and also our pitch rises a little bit, like we're talking to children or we're talking to a dog, and this kind of stuff looks nervous and anxious, and it's not a good impression that we want to give. So if you can slow down your speech, Drop your voice a little bit and find a natural range that's maybe a little deeper than where you usually pitch your voice. You can drop it down a little deeper, sound a little more masculine that way. Some men I've seen recommend like pausing 2 full seconds before you respond to somebody else when they've said something to you. We take a little pause, somehow it adds a little gravity and seriousness to our response, okay? If you'd like a really great example of a man who speaks very well and does this excellently, I recommend you find George Bruno on YouTube. His Daybreak show is something that I recommend you watch. And it is not only a great resource for knowledge for young men and stuff that you need to know for life, but also his pattern of speech, his vocal delivery is absolutely spot on, as well as all of his body language and self-presentation. You can learn a lot from George if you pay attention not only to what the man says, but the way he says it. And in general, guys, just talk less. Some of you are chatterboxes and you never shut up, all right? People will pay more attention to what you say if you aren't chattering all the time. So if you're in a group, always be the guy who says the least. You know, there is the example of the SST, the strong silent type, the guy who doesn't say very much, but you can learn an awful lot about other people if you're willing to let them talk, or in conversation, ask them questions and get them to open up and to offer information to you, because people love to talk about themselves. And if you can learn to shut up and not say so much about yourself, everybody will regard you as a friend. And when you do talk, they'll listen more carefully to what you have to say. All right? And point number 5 for today, take up some space. All right? Not only is keeping your shoulder blades in your back pocket going to open you up, you know, the upper part of your body like this and all, but also go ahead and man spread. You know, take up some space with your whole body, whether you're sitting or whether you're standing. You know, even here sitting, I have my knees wide apart. If you're at a table, put your hands out, like over where your knees are, and take up a bunch of space there, okay? Take up space. Also, when you happen to be sitting at a table or with somebody, if you lean in, it expresses interest, it expresses intentionality, and you'll be much more engaged with what is going on and what the conversation is. You've seen these people who disengage from conversation. You know, you've seen this. This guy is not engaged. He's disconnected. He's defensive, and very uncomfortable. We don't want to sit like this, okay? Unless you really are defensive. But again, the difference in the way that other people regard you, you know, once you see it, it's very clear and simple to do. So pay attention to the way that you engage with other people like this. And just one more little pro tip that I'll throw in for you. If you have to meet someone out at a restaurant and you get in a booth or try to get someplace over to the side next to a wall where it's a little bit quieter, when y'all sit down, you sit where you can see only the person that you're talking to, and you allow the other person to see not only you, but the rest of the restaurant all around you. This will make him or her more comfortable with the surroundings because he can see what is all going on, but it will also force you to focus exclusively on the person you're talking to because you're not distracted by everything that's going on in the background, and you'll be much more attentive, and the other person will see your attentiveness and your interest in them, and the conversation will go better. So there's a few tips for you there. I'll probably have some more of these later on, but find one of them that interests you, or one of them that you know where you're coming up short, and just practice that for a while. But start it right now and see if it doesn't change your day.